oh, that is it. That's the year he went on PEDs. Coach Greg in today's video, none other than another natty knot. The guy's ID name, it's Burning Everything is Beauty. And so apparently he's an arsonist. You know, someone who likes to burn things. And so I have no idea why he chose that name, but let's get started. The guy is 41 years of age. He's been training for approximately 20 years, and he has an incredible physique. The guy is absolutely shredded. Most recently, he won the Masters division in a drug-tested bodybuilding competition. Remember, the guy is drug tested by WADA. Those are very strict drug tests. And so if he was in fact taking performance enhancing drugs, it'd be very difficult to get away with it. He would have to cycle on and cycle off, and we would see changes in physique. And so I'm going to go over his photos dating back to the early 2000s, see what I think, and let you know once and for all, is this guy in fact 100% natural? And so just how big is this guy? 173 centimeters tall, a little bit taller than Coach Greg, and at his all-time heaviest, the biggest he's ever been when he's bulked up, 86 kilograms. And so he's not actually that big, about this much taller than me, and literally lighter than I am right now. And remember, I'm not bulked up. I'm at 9% body fat. So although I'm 5 centimeters shorter, I still weigh more than him when he's at his fattest. And what category does he compete in? Well, the 75 kilogram and under division. And in that category, he weighs in at only 71 kilograms. That is literally how much I weighed when I was in my early 20s. And remember, I'm 5 centimeters shorter. And so far, it's looking good. I'm actually thinking that this guy is 100% natural. And so in 2003, you can see he's a rather skinny guy. Although he doesn't have a lot of body fat, he seems to have that as his strength. Certain people have better genetics for putting on muscle, others for being lean. This guy, his strength seems to be his ability to get great condition, and this is going to help him in the future. And so a little foreshadowing, as we're going to find out why he in fact won his latest competition. Just stay tuned for that. And so 2004, you can see the guy's got a chiseled six-pack. You can clearly see he's put on a decent amount of muscle. This is due to the fact that he is in fact experiencing newbie gains. When you first start training, that is the easiest time to put on muscle. And year after year, it becomes a lot more difficult. 2005, you clearly see a noticeable difference in his size, but he does have a little bit more body fat. And so although he looks a lot bigger, some of that is attributed to gains in body fat. Fast forward 2009, you can clearly see he's got the traps, holding on significantly more muscle, but also along with that, he does have higher body fat levels. But remember, I'm not calling him fat. He's clearly still lean. He's just not shredded the way he was when he first started. Because clearly in that most muscular pose, you can see the outline of his abs. And as the years go by, you can see slow and steady gains. Not mind-blowing gains. You can't see any year in particular where he put on 10 or maybe 15 pounds of muscle. If he were to actually use steroids, there would be a point in time when he made gains by leaps and bounds. When you first start, you make a lot of gains, then over time they go down. Very hard to put on muscle. And so if he first started gaining a lot of muscle, year after year, less and less muscle, and if suddenly he gains a lot of muscle, that is the point at which he would have been on steroids. Now, some of you may be looking at his photo in 2016 and thinking, oh, that is it. That's the year he went on PEDs. But listen, he's using a cleverly put in photo from a mirror with a split in it. Every bodybuilder understands that when you take a side photo and there's a mirror with a split, it makes the arm look that much bigger. And so when you look at that photo, you're thinking, wow, he looks so big. That is because of the split in the mirror. It's simply an illusion. He isn't as big as you think. That combined with being shredded and great lighting and a tan, that is why he looks bigger than last time. And so you can see clearly 2021, 2022, this guy has an incredible physique. He is completely shredded, approaching 5% body fat. His strengths, clearly his abdominals. He has clearly defined and small waist. His weakness in particular is the size of his quads. He doesn't have the biggest quads, but remember, when you diet to this extent, especially when you're natural, it's very hard to put on muscle. And normally when you're a natural bodybuilder dieting for a show, the first thing you seem to lose is your leg. Oftentimes people look good several months out, but as they diet to the show, they keep getting leaner and leaner. The first thing to lose is their legs. That is often from doing too too much cardio combined with doing too much leg training in the gym, overtraining and so on. And so what happens over time is the legs, they slowly atrophy as you approach the show. And 12 days out, look at this guy. He looks like he's 12 minutes from competing. This is remarkable. The striations, the veins, the vascularity. He looks absolutely incredible. And notice the bumps in his abs. I've been accused year after year. Oh, I see the bumps on your abs. That's where you're doing your injections. You're injecting into your abs. That's complete and utter nonsense. Most people, in fact, have those exact same things. They're simply not lean enough to notice them. When your skin is literally paper thin, you can see all the details under it. And so it's not an injection mark. These are just small, tiny cysts, very normal, seen almost anyone. That right there. And so you can see a little bit on me now, but remember, I'm close to 9% body fat. This guy's getting close to 5% body fat. When I'm lean like this, I have the exact same look to the abs, those little bumps. People accuse me of injecting there all the time. And listen, I'm not a liar, and I don't inject anything ever into my abdominals. And so how does he train 8 days out? Remember, that is when you're at your weakest. Peak week is about to start. And so you're clearly going to go and more relaxed into the gym. You're not training harder than last time. You're literally just trying to get through a workout. And so what do you do for your leg workout? And so as we see him performing his squats, notice the rapid descent. That is the eccentric portion of the movement. In comparison, the concentric, it is a lot slower. This, to me, resembles ego lifting in the gym. When you don't lift the weight under control, you are ego lifting. And so what I would recommend is he reduces the speed on the way down and go faster on the way up. Squatting the way he does is more likely to lead to injury, especially when you're weeks out from a competition and at single-digit body fat. This, to me, is dangerous lifting. I don't recommend it. And so my advice, whether you're squatting, bench pressing, doing anything, try to control the weight, make it go slower on the way down, then on the way up. That is proper lifting technique. And so I'm watching him do his leg press. He unloads the weight, 8 plates aside. That's the same weight I use. But remember, I use extreme control. And so he lowers the weight, only goes halfway down. And for some reason, he's reaching between his legs. I don't know what he's doing. Is he trying to smell a fart? What is going on down there? Why is after every rep, he's leaning forward so much? Stay in control, lower the weight slowly, and please go to 90 degrees. This is a partial range of motion, ego lifting in the gym. Remember, he's unracking the weight. It already looks too heavy. You're at single-digit body fat. There's no reason to lift this much. Rather than 8 plates aside, he could perhaps have 5 lower under greater control and lose the 44 sets in a workout.
安排了练腿，先是12组腿屈伸，然后又做12组深蹲，12组深蹲呢包括10组的100公斤和2组的120公斤，然后又做了8组回举，之后又做了5组腿弯举，坐姿腿弯举5组，俯身腿弯举做了3组，最后做了4组直腿硬拉，一共今天的大腿的训练是40次，时间不到2个小时，就是加大强度加大容量，然后缩短时间，为的是多消耗糖原，这是第一个，再就是给腿更多的刺激。
And it's 44 sets. But listen, this is what the science says. In total, in one given week, you should be training 10 to 20 sets for any given body part in a week. And so he's doing 44 sets. And so no one, even if you're enhanced, should be doing 44 sets in a given workout. Yeah, I get it. It's a bigger body part, but that doesn't mean you train it for more than 20 sets, especially when you're doing cardio. The guy starts doing cardio once his weight gets down to about 74 kilograms. And so clearly he's doing cardio, he's shredded, he's in a calorie deficit, yet he's training harder with more volume than ever before. And you know what happens? The legs atrophy. They get smaller. And so when you look at his stage physique, what do you notice? You notice the size of his quads simply don't match up to his opponents. But what he lacks in size, he makes up for with conditioning, extreme conditioning. And so immediately when I see the guys up on stage, I'm favoring number 16. Look at the size of his quads, the width of its shoulders. This to me looks like the winner. In second place, I do believe it's number 14 guy in red. But let's see who comes out on top. And so we're down to the final 3, and I'm looking at the front lat spread. And just look at these guys in comparison. Number 16 clearly has the bigger quads. Number 14, they are in fact a lot smaller, but are better conditioned. Number 16, very broad shoulders, looks like an excellent classic physique competitor. Small waist to wide shoulders to flaring thighs. This is incredible physique. Number 14 in comparison, he does look incredible. He does have a small waist, but has a lot less muscle. Although he outconditions number 16, I am in fact in favor of giving the first place trophy to number 16. But in the end, 14 wins over 16. I'm sure it was close. Remember, judging, it's a very subjective sport. I favored one guy over the other. Another judge might say the opposite. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean they're right. The person who wins is the collective agreement of all judges combined. They throw out the high and low scores, and it's the average of what everyone thinks. And so perhaps in this competition, they favored conditioning over size and symmetry. Personally, although I like conditioning, I think he was lean enough to place first in this competition. Whoa. Power went out.
Oh, yeah.
Is there thunder?
Yeah, the thunder, yeah.
Thunderbolts! And so in the future, he says he's cutting to the 70 kilogram and under division. I do believe he can make that division. He's prioritizing his conditioning. He can get dehydrated, make the weight, and then carb up after, perhaps put on 1 or 2 kilograms. And in the future, if he could reduce his leg training volume from 44 sets to a maximum of 20, recover greater between sets, use greater mind-muscle connection, and stop ego lifting in the gym, there's no reason to do so. I fully believe that when he's in his off-season, perhaps at 80 kilograms, he could handle these weights. But when you're at 5% body fat, eating in a calorie deficit, doing cardio, this is not the time to set PRs in the gym. Clearly, bodybuilding is a marathon, not a sprint. The guy's been training for close to 20 years. I do believe this represents what natural bodybuilding is all about. I do not question that this guy is 100% natural. And so congratulations to him. Keep winning and keep training harder than last time. And so please go and check out this guy's channel. Give him a follow. And if you previously bought my cookbook, write a comment below. Did you like the book? Did it make sense? Did it help you increase your gains? Don't forget to watch the bloops, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I am out.